What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is your monthly special. You absolutely love these. You guys are just like fiends for this stuff. No, but you absolutely do love these videos, and that's why I continue to make them. For any of you who are new to this channel, my name is Leon Angus. I do Amazon affiliate marketing online. I do a bunch of other things like SEO. Now I'm venturing into paid advertising, but specifically for this video, I do income reports on my Amazon affiliate websites month over month. So throughout this video, we go through, the backlinking, the keywords, the traffic, the earnings, which is the most important thing we all know. Just about everything you can possibly break down inside of a successful Amazon affiliate site. And in doing so, I hope that you can apply some of the techniques and methods and also be inspired a little bit that you can make it work. I'm not anyone special. I'm just, a guy just like you, or a girl, I don't know. I'm just a normal person. Yeah, I just hope you can, hopefully get inspired by the video and go out and make successes for yourself. So I'm going to get into the video. And if you haven't already, if you're really excited about this video, one thing that you can do is smash that like button to get started, and also make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel. And once again, to those of you who have recently subscribed, thank you and welcome to the family. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to start off with is how many articles is on the site currently. So this is a site in the dog niche, and the site currently has 101 articles on the site. Throughout the month of January 2020, I actually published an additional 8 articles. So that's a little bit more than what I did in December, because the site kind of took a little bit of a dip in December, and then coming into January had a little effect, which I'll actually, go on to explain later on in this video. So the overall traffic for the site was 14,134 people, and the unique count was 12,700 people. So that means 14,000 came in, but 12,000 different entities were the ones who obviously, or people were the ones who viewed the site. And then obviously throughout, some of them viewed 2 or 3 pages, which made up the count of 14,000, which is pretty good, because I don't think I had Ezoic on the site when I last done an income report prior to December. So I'm not sure. I think I've only had Ezoic on there for about 2 months or something since the site crossed over 10,000 visits a month. So this is pretty good anyway. It's a little bit more traffic than we had last month. So I'm pretty happy with that. Well, than we had in December, I should say. So I'm pretty happy with that coming into 2020. The site is now 18 months old, so it's been around for quite some time now, starting to get a few cobwebs, but just keeping that content fresh and also updating some of the old content when I do get the chance to do that as well. So my keyword strategy, what I want to talk about is my keyword strategy, because when I started out the site, and what I'm gathering from becoming more experienced with SEO, is when you start out with an Amazon affiliate site, one of the best things that you can do is start off by going for easy wins. Not only does that help you to really generate a quick amount of traffic and quick amount of income, but it also allows you to really get trust from the search engines early on in your site's career. So if you were starting out, I would go for very long tail specific keywords that are not being answered by your competitors. And I would also go for keywords that have a very low competition. So that means there's not like any kind of big authority sites in that space. Also sites that are not answering the particular topic, as I mentioned just now. When you do that, it really allows you to get these small wins to build up some sort of momentum that you can later reinvest or allow it to compound into something bigger. So at this point of where I am now, and one of the things you need to understand when you own a site is this site already brings in money, it already brings in traffic. So now I need to expand. So one of the things I was doing first of all is going very narrowed down into the niche. So I was specifically around the breed of dog that the site is about. Okay, so I was making it fully about that dog, and now I'm broadening out into just dogs in general and things for dogs in general. So I'm able to now target a massive audience, a much bigger audience, and also bring in a lot more traffic and a lot more revenue. Okay, and what's beneficial about that in particular is the fact that I've already got a lot of articles that are already targeting those topics for a specific dog. So I already know what kind of works. So it's already been tested, and that's what I think is pretty good. So if we were to put it into kind of an analogy, which I always like to give, I would would first of all take the very sniped approach. So you want to be locked on target and really specific. And then as you get bigger and you've already tested and you know what works and you've got some data to go off, then you want to take the shotgun and just blast out. Okay, so that's the kind of approach. You really want to narrow down at the beginning, win your niche and that small little space. And then once you've tested and you can prove that you can win that area, then you want to expand into something bigger and fight with the big dogs out there. No pun intended, because I have a dog site. So currently the site has 210 backlinks from 79 unique domains. That's a little bit more than the last income report that I reported. So it has grown in backlinks. I haven't actively built any of these backlinks. This is naturally coming in organically because the site is ranking for quite a few terms #1. Okay, so I think I'm ranking for like, I don't even know, like maybe like 30 or 40 different keywords #1. So obviously it's going to attract quite a few backlinks naturally, because when someone's trying to reference a certain topic, they'll Google it quickly and pick one of the top few sites and then obviously link out to me. So that's how I think that I'm getting those backlinks in the first place. Now the site has a do follow ratio of 41%. Now that's up by around 12% from the 33% do follow ratio that it had previously in December. So I am pretty happy with that. Having some do follow and no follow ratio is okay. Now if you don't know what do follow or no follow is, or what I'm talking about at this point, no follow is basically links that are like in comment sections and things like that. So search engines do not actually go through those links. You would usually no follow like an affiliate link, because you don't want Google to go and search through that link to know that you're linking out to an affiliate product. Do follow links are links that are gone through by search engines. So like Bing, Yahoo, whoever will actually go through their robots, or spiders we call it in SEO, will go through your site and then work their way through that link to the other site that you've linked to, or through the site that's linking to you. And what that can do is, if you're getting it from a very big player, like say for example it's like Logan Paul sharing my YouTube video, it's going to get a ton of views. So it's the same with that, but with SEO it's more based on your strength. Okay, so it will give your site more power if it's getting a link from a big authority site. Okay, and if it's very like relevant on the same topic, then that also matters as well, because it's all about relevance and also about the strength. So one of those links, if you've got a link to a page and then you've got a link from your page going out to other ones, then you can see how it can go through like a web to other pages. And that's how Google kind of is made up. That's how a website's made up and ranks on SEO. That's how it's determined. So my keywords have continued to climb, because I'm ranking for over 2,500 different keywords now. And that's only based on the tool that I'm using, which is keysearch.co. You can see that tool below. I've left a link in the description. But that tool is a little bit inaccurate when it comes to how many keywords it's showing you, or your organic keywords. But I do believe I'm ranking for at least over like 3,000 different keywords. So there's a lot of keywords, and that's me showing in the top 100 for those keywords. So it's a little bit more than what we reported in December. So we've grown, and obviously, you know, the site is growing and it's really spreading its wings and getting out there a little bit more. So what has my backlink strategy been throughout so far? I haven't really had a backlink strategy in the recent months. When I started out, I done like Web 2.0s, which is mini blogs that are perceived to be third-party websites linking back to me. So you build like a 5-page website on like blogger.com and then link it back to one of your articles to help it rank. I was doing that at the beginning, but when you've built up somewhat authority, you don't really need to do that stuff. Like honestly, when I started out, I was testing all of these different things to see what worked and what didn't. And I honestly see the most movement from just really focusing on good content. And the way that I focus on good content is by just answering exactly what people are looking for and really doing it to the best of my ability. The writing, I always make sure that it's in a fun and friendly manner, depending on the niche that you're in. Of course, if you're talking about like some kind of science stuff, then you probably would still want to make it a little bit friendly so everyone can, you know, read it and understand it. You might use a bit more technical words. So if I am using something technical or jargon, then I'll always link out to the relevant source for someone to get more information on that. And the way that I do the outbound links and inbound links is you always want to outbound link on a site to help the reader better understand the topic that you're talking about. So if I'm doing an article on like helping a dog sleep at night or something, you want to only link out to other resources that are going to help that reader to improve the results of helping their dog to sleep. Okay, so that's what it needs to be. Like if you're linking out to anything other than that, then it doesn't really make sense, does it? And when the search engines come through, they're going to determine that. and if people click through, they're also going to monitor the search engines of people's behavior. So like if they land on something random page and click off that one and then just go search for something again, that's a bad signal. Okay, so you really want to be quite intentional with the way that you use the links on your site, and don't focus on linking before writing the content. Focus on just content, no images, nothing. This is my strategy anyway. I just focus on content. Then once I've got that content in, then I add the images, because then you can better understand what images make sense in certain areas, you know, based on what you've written. And then after you've got that, then you want to do like the links and the, you know, all the SEO technical stuff, because you want to just have a good piece of content to start off with, answering all the specific questions someone has, and then you go in and do all the rest after. So 87% of the site's traffic is currently coming from SEO, which is brilliant. And then just behind that, we've got direct coming in at 9%, which is absolutely fantastic for me. I think some of the traffic is coming in direct from some of you guys, because I've obviously shared and revealed certain parts of the site in videos, and then you've obviously, you know, wormed your way through and Googled it, probably put it in backlink Ahrefs and all this different stuff. So I'm sure you've all tested it thoroughly now and just seen what the site's about anyway, you know. In regards to that, I'm very happy, because you want a majority of your traffic coming from SEO. It's very sustainable and very reliable. If it was coming from like social media or something like that, I probably wouldn't be as satisfied as I am with the traffic coming from SEO. All right, so the next thing that we're going to get into is the most important part, and that's the site's earnings for January 2020. Drum roll, please. So we made $428.47 through Amazon Associates with a 21.45% conversion rate, and last month was 14%. So we've gone up like 7% in conversion rate. So that's like, you know, for how many people came to the site, how many of them actually converted into a sale. Okay, then we've got $30 through ClickBank, so that might reveal what product I've promoted. I've openly said it before to you guys anyway. Then $95.20 from Ezoic with an EPMV, which stands for earnings per thousand views, of $8.37. So in total, the site made $553.67. So we're up by $224.20 from December 2019. That's absolutely brilliant, and I think it's restored to where it truly was anyway, because we had like a 600 or 700 month before that, and the site was consistently doing pretty good, and then took a massive dive inside of December. Now, why do I think it had a dive? I personally do not know. I don't know why. Maybe it was some kind of update or something like that, or maybe it was just people's buying intentions, or maybe it was my niche and, you know, the season of when it was. I'm not quite sure, but I do know the more content you add, then the more that you can kind of hedge against, you know, seasonality and things like that. All right, so the authority of the site is currently at a domain authority of 12 and a page authority of 21. The domain authority is actually reduced from the previous month. I'm not sure why. I do believe it's maybe because of the update that happened in January. If you haven't seen that video, you can go check that out on my YouTube channel, and if you just Google January Google update 2020 or whatever, I'm number one on YouTube for that anyway, so you'll find that video. And then, why is the site performing good? I always go through these questions at the end. Okay, so I personally believe that the Google update done good for the site, because first of all, it took a dip. Like in the middle of in the beginning of January, the site was really underperforming. I was getting no sales, and I think it was like all down to testing, because all my rankings were dropping and moving up and down, and it was all up and down. And honestly, sometimes you can panic when this happens, but what I would give you as a word of advice is just personally just see it through, and as long as you've got no manual penalties, which you can check in your Google search console, then you don't really need to worry too much. Just let it even itself out. It's usually because, you know, Google's an algorithm and it's just testing what's going on, and then once it can truly understand, you know, where you truly belong in rankings, then it will rank you accordingly. So you just have to go through that rough patch, and then it will even and balance itself out as you go on. All right, so now you know how the site is currently performing. Let's talk about how I'm going forward with the site. What is my plan and how do I plan on improving the site moving forward? So I've got a few notes here, as you've probably seen me referring back to, just so I make the video really good anyway. So I'm going to be adding 12 articles per month, and the way that I'm doing this is because now I've got a writer, which I've got a few writers that I'm using on iWriter specifically, to be honest, and I went through and tested a few different methods and articles, and I've got like a template that I use for the writers on iWriter. You can save like a template and it just gives them very specific and detailed instructions on the type of content that I write. And usually you're going to follow a certain type of flow, because you usually do like buyer review content, which is like a best buy review, so you're comparing like top 5 products or top 10. Then you might do a how-to article, which is a tutorial kind of article, so you have a template for that. And then you might do like a question-based answer type article, which is informational. And during the how-to tutorials, you could also be doing like a shareable piece of content, like 20 ways to do XYZ, which could be the same as how to do XYZ. So you're just kind of coming at it from a different angle, and that purely depends on the topic. So moving forward, I've actually got the writers that do that content, but then once they submit that content to me, I've then got an editor that I've hired on freelance.com or freelancer.com, and I've trained him up to actually edit the content. So what he does is all the formatting, all of the images and whatever else. And the way I did that, I'll give you a power tip here, is there's a good book that I read, which is called The E-Myth. Some of you may have heard of it before, but it's by a guy, I think Gary Halbert or something like that. I'm not sure, or is that a writer? I'm not even sure. But anyway, so like this guy, E-Myth, the book's called, he talks about creating an SOP, which is a standard operating procedure. So if he was talking about it for like hotels and big businesses, I thought, how can I apply that to my business? And what it is basically having like a very detailed, like McDonald's, they have like a guideline. So no matter who comes into that role, they can do it because they go through like the instruction manual. Well, that's exactly how I've done this. So I've created like YouTube videos that I don't share on here. They're unlisted videos. You can do it with just any basic Google account and have a YouTube channel that you don't share videos on publicly. And I've basically created like where I show them like all of the details exactly going through in a video. It's like a training module. Like I've got like 5 videos and it just shows them exactly how I want the content. Like, so if they're doing a review article, I show them exactly how to edit it. If they're doing like a buyer intent, I show them exactly how to do it. Once they do that, then you just keep iterating on it. So you just give them feedback. And once you've given them feedback like 4, 5, 6 times, depending on obviously the quality of the person, obviously you're trying to get someone good anyway, but you want to keep giving them feedback and just bring them slowly up to scratch, and then they sit there at that point where you want them. But you always want to constantly improve anyway. But this is how I'm able to push out 12 articles, because by the time I get the post, which is 3 articles a week roughly, I just basically do the last couple of tweaks, reword a few things, maybe redo the introduction, exit, and maybe reword a few things in between and whatever else, and then I'll just push it out. So it's allowing me to push 3 articles per week out, and also I'm running like all other stuff as well, so it's really helpful, and it's allowing me to just scale, because my goal is 200 articles by the end of the year. So I've got 100 articles to push out roughly, well 99 or whatever. I'm going to be targeting bigger and harder keywords. So as I said earlier, the site's built up somewhat authority now, so I can really compete with some of the more authoritative websites out there. So some of the big dogs out there, no pun intended again, I can actually battle with now and go toe to toe with. So I'm really targeting these big keywords, and some of them that I've already been going for that are pretty hard and I could never go for before or rank, I'm actually like showing up for them like within the first couple of weeks now, and showing up in the top 30 and top 50. So these are keywords with like 3,000 to 5,000 searches a month, so quite big searches. I've got a target of getting the site to roughly about, I can't remember, 60,000 visits per month, which should, on average, based on my income at the moment, based on traffic in comparison to income, should put me on about $3,000 per month. So if I can do that, then obviously, I'll sell the site, and I want to sell it for 100,000 pounds, dollars in that sense, actually it will be. All right, and then I'm going to run a backlink campaign in summertime. So I'm not currently doing any backlinks, but what I want to do is snowball that income and really build it up until like July or August. And by then the site should be bringing easily over $1,000 to $2,000, maybe $1,500, let's call it, by summer. What I want to do is basically, I've got links and guys and whatever else, not links like backlinks, I've got links people, basically run a few backlink campaigns where I'll just buy out the links, maybe off the Hoth as well. You could even use, that's a good site, but it's pretty expensive. But if you can afford it and you can afford it to do it, then it's an investment, you know, because you're going to make that money back. And it's also going to help you through updates because backlinks strengthen your site's authority. All right, so next month's target direct, because we can all talk about, you know, the long-term goals and whatever else. What do I have control over now? Well, I have control over how much content I push out. And through that, based on data, you can estimate an average of how much you expect in return. So, you know, all that content that I've pushed out in January, that's now going to kind of gain some traction coming into February. Next month, personally, I want to go for $800. We've already come out the gates this month with a big bang. So it's doing really well this month and it can do it. So based on what it's doing at the moment, it can probably hit that $800 a month mark. And that will be the biggest month that the site has had. Am I happy with the progress I've got down? I'm totally happy with how the site is going. I mean, to be honest, throughout December, I didn't really touch it because I was doing all my train stuff. Like I still work 2 days a week. But yeah, I never really done any work and the site was still making money. Like, so this is why, honestly, SEO, I'm doing paid ads and everything now, but SEO is the most passive thing you can do. So if anyone talks about passive income, this is purely like almost having a rental property and just taking income. And this, the return on investment here, huge compared to a rental property. To make like $500 or £500 a month on a rental property, you're going to have to front like 100,000, well, maybe about 200 grand, you know, so it's ridiculous when you can do that with fronting like, you know, maybe 200 quid to start off. Like, so it's ridiculous. You know, how much would I value the site at? Because of the level of content that I push out, very high quality, I'm very good at what I do, and you know, the site is very good. I would value it at anywhere between $18,000 to $20,000 at this point. You know, it could range from 16 to 20,000, you could say, to give it a bigger margin, but that's purely based on the content value that I push out and, you know, the high level of content, and also because of the way that I've diversified the income of the site. So the site is standing on, you know, a few different legs. It makes money from ClickBank, which is not a lot, obviously, but if I focus more on that, then obviously it will increase that, which I probably will do as well. And then it makes a solid income from Amazon Associates, which is a very credible company and very reliable and sustainable and very trustworthy, providing Jeff Bezos keeps doing a great job. Yeah, you stick in there, Jeff. And then also we've also got Ezoic Ads, which is again super reliable, you know, like, because you're always going to make money from ads because you don't actively need anyone to buy anything to make money. They just need to make a click. And I'm sure you can get people to click something because we click things all day. That's what I do on the internet, you know. So that's it. Anyway, I know this video, I'm very satisfied with this video, you know, because I know sometimes when I don't put effort or when I do put effort, this is a good video. So I know it is. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. That's my alarm. I'll see you in the next one because, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, okay, so peace. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Plenty more videos coming this month, by the way.